Hey guys, welcome to Fat and Chatty, where, as always, I'm the ever always tired Lulu, and up to my left corner, I have, as always, my man, my boo, my G, Carol Baskin. How are you doing, Carol? Yeah, it's been uh, yeah. Have do you feel? I feel like it's been a long week, don't you? Yeah, you haven't been feeling the best this week, to be honest. We good on that aspect at least. Oh, look, watch out, man! There's a pollen bomb coming soon, apparently, like through the whole damn bit. So, rip. The hypochondriacism is already there. What can we can we just say you had once you like went, oh crap, okay, so I might have this. What did you do? You phoned up somebody, didn't you? Yeah. And what was Tara's reaction to this? I never actually asked this. She's got a nice couple of days off, pay leave. Woo. Oh, okay. What a dick move. Well, we feel for your moderator. Clearly, clearly not what protocol enough, eh? I can hear you. Right, guys. Well, welcome to Fat and Chatty. We've had another technical difficulty. We're now going to resume with programming. Jay was just talking about how he had coronavirus symptoms, and it just looks like it could have been hay fever. That's all you need to know. Jay, let's get on with the show.
Always check that your microphone's not muted. It's because I use this for other things. I wish it unmuted things when you like closed the app and reopened the application. That'd be
Yeah,
nice.
I know, right? I know.
Anyway, on to the scheduled discussions. Get off your
So what
phone,
have
you
we?
mug.
What have we got to do today then, huh?
Well, the first topic, I asked you to go and watch a program because I was told to watch a program by a friend of mine, my friend Francis. We were discussing what we like to eat, and I said I'm a big meat eater. So she went, watch Game Changers. I was like, are you about to take meat from me? Are you about to ruin my life? She said no, but I think she has.
Is that the Francis I'm thinking of?
I worked at Build-A-Bear with.
Oh, shout out to Francis. Hey girl.
Hey,
Um,
Franny.
um, yeah, you ended up watching it and then told me to watch it, and yeah,
Because I think it is
yeah.
a literal game changer. You know me.
Mm,
I love meat.
yeah. You're the biggest meat eater I know. Like literally, you love your meat.
Mm. So I don't think we won't talk about what the actual film's about too much. I think people have to go watch it to appreciate it because if you just give them the context of what the film is, people will still have the same impression which exactly the film is talking about, where it opens your eyes that you've been misled into humans eating meat and health implications and things and how we need meat. So I think people, if you are watching and you've not watched it, watch it to understand what we're talking about. Before,
Yeah,
after, whatever. Even if you leave now and watch it and then come back to this, because it will still be on our YouTube channel, but you have to watch it to know what we're talking about. Because I would have had the exact same view of, well, that's bullshit. I've always thought plant-based diet, vegetarianism, things like that is all,
no protein in it at
yeah,
all. I thought
it's
that as well.
bullshit. I've always assumed that if you're a vegetarian, you're skinny, you've got no strength, you can't be an athlete, things like that. But this program follows actual athletes, strong men, um, martial arts people. There was a football team as well, I believe, who were on plant-based diets.
American football team,
Yeah.
yeah. And I can't remember which team it was, but they were not. I think they were notorious for not winning that much.
But they are now on plant-based diets and performing to their athletic
Higher
peak.
level,
Yeah,
yeah.
like my favorite line from it, Lewis, was the strong man who turned around and said that someone said to him, you know, how how can you be built like an ox with on a plant-based diet? And his response was literally, when have you ever seen an ox eating meat? Which I never thought about.
Well, yeah, because how it works, it looks like if we really would have to go and do some more research because
Mm.
it was only just a tip of like how it actually works. It seems like how they get a lot of their protein and everything from it is through carbs.
Yeah, carbs and avocados. There are a lot of fruits, well, not fruits, but there are a lot of foods out there which aren't meat that have protein. Nuts are very good for protein.
Sweet potatoes.
Yeah. Yeah, because like with calcium, you can get calcium from cabbage and broccoli. You don't just have to get it from meat. But a lot of the topics in this were very. It's almost like I was watching it and was like, how did I never think of this? This makes sense. Like Tara was saying, she said to me, she was like, well, it makes sense that we're only getting the protein out of them, like only getting a bit of protein out of that meat anyway, because it's recycled protein.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, the animal is eating grass and eating greens, so we're getting the recycled greens and the protein and the vitamins and stuff from that through the animal, but with added fat. Like literally, some of these like things, I was just going, that makes total sense. Why didn't I think of this before? But
A
never.
lot of it was, yeah, a lot of it was connecting the dots to the dots, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like that thing where they say, I never thought about it in the case of it was being marketed in that way, like they did with cigarettes, where doctors were saying, I only smoke the best brand, which is Camel, because they thought smoking was good for you. And we've been marketed and told a meat diet is good for you. Is it?
I have to play devil's advocate though, because at some points, it really did. At points, it felt like it was just meat bashing people with meat who
Mm.
eat meat.
Yeah,
Very much so.
yeah. Which I understand, but me and Tara have kind of come away with it, and we're gonna reduce the amount of meat we eat. I think it's nice to know the effects that it's having on your body, and I found it very intriguing. So it was saying about how meat is marketed to men, and
Man's meat.
yeah,
Man to man, be a man. Because
yeah,
you had Arnold Schwarzenegger in the documentary, and he was very well known for his meat diet and always saying, "I am a man because I eat meat."
yeah,
And then you just look at him like 20 to 30 years later, going, "Oh, now I'm feeling the best I've ever felt."
yeah. But the thing I found intriguing was meat's marketed to men. Men are more likely and are more at risk of having heart attacks due
Half
to high
facts,
blood
yes.
pressure. That just seems like a correlation of data there. Meat's being marketed more towards men. Men are eating more meat, so they have more health problems due to the fat buildup in the cardiovascular system. That
Um,
science makes sense.
hmm, no, it does. Um, I will say I don't really, as you know, Jay, and
Yeah,
as we've talked about on the show, I don't really eat that much in the way of variety of things. The only meat I really eat is chicken,
yeah.
which is poultry. So kind of feel like some of this makes sense to me because it's like, oh, I could literally cut out meat altogether and just get rid of chicken, and that'd be it.
Mm, yeah.
It seems like the perfect transition for me. But will I do that with chicken? Probably not. Will
That's
I
the thing.
maybe?
It's a big change, especially for you with someone with a varied um, diet. It's a
Yeah,
big ask. Like I can probably assume that you are very much like I would like to do that, but is
yeah.
it is it realistic?
I'd love to be eating almonds.
Yeah,
Will I like them though? Probably not. It's like a psych out on my head.
yeah.
But I've never been the biggest beef fan, steak and all that crap. That's not for me. Pork, not a big fan either. I mean, I like sausages, but I can do without. Literally, this stuff just screams to me like I could do this.
But the good thing is, at least with yours, chicken is not as fatty as say beef, lamb, things like that. So at least you're good on that front. And I think it would just be a case of for you not so much cutting out chicken altogether and replacing it, but just having
Less.
less. Yeah, yeah. Because I think me and Tara are phasing slowly. We're eating less meat recently. So yesterday we tried Quorn's southern fried chicken.
Oh no, really?
It was lush.
Really?
Mm. I was very surprised. You know me, I've never liked meat free stuff, things like that. But these tasted really good. I think meat free replacement stuff has come a very long
Hell
way.
of a lot way.
Well, today we had kebab. It's soy protein with spices and stuff like that. Tara cooked it in a frying pan. It was amazing. We had it in a pita bread, and it was crispy, like chicken meat, and it was actually enjoyable. Of course, it's not the real thing, but if you're not expecting it to taste like a greasy, dirty kebab, it was still a nice meal.
Yeah. Maybe you could come back to me and try those Linda McCartney sausages. I've always heard good things about them.
I will do. I will write them down, and me and Tara will buy them and try them.
They have you have two different ones. So you have the normal style ones, and then you have red onion and rosemary to try as well. They're
Okay.
literally like soya based sausages.
Yeah. Yeah, me and Tara at the minute are aiming for meat-free diets, but we're phasing through slowly
Maybe
because
maybe trying new stuff and then seeing how you feel about that would be the best target to hit
yeah,
first.
we're trying the food replacement stuff. Like we tried the chicken, and we've both said we would much prefer that meat-free corn southern fried chicken in a wrap instead of
Hmm.
actual chicken. Like if we wanted nuggets,
Wow.
yeah, we'd get that instead. That kebab, I don't think I'm going to order a kebab from a takeaway again.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I enjoyed that
Does,
one so much. I just had plain pitta, a bit of ketchup, and I actually really enjoyed it.
does this mean it's the
Mm,
end of Chubbs's McDonald's runs?
possibly. Well, the thing is, the reason
Oh,
I.
that's
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. Well, the thing is,
Wow.
I've had a detox from
Jesus.
Burger King, McDonald's, haven't we? I've had a detox from it with this lockdown.
True. True, yeah.
Like, I think McDonald's is one of those addictive foods,
Very much so.
and I feel that because I can, in my mind now, I can say when it was open, I could still remember the taste, and I'd be like, I want that. You know,
You'd see the picture and you could taste it.
well, yeah, because all of their food is very, it's the same. You look at a quarter pounder, you know what a quarter pounder tastes like. You know what a McNugget tastes like, Lewis. You eat different places nuggets, and you can tell the difference. So you'd look at
Yeah,
them,
but
yeah. It's like that, isn't it? You can tell it. It is a certain way, a Big Mac and a quarter pounder. You can look at it and go, "That's what it tastes like. That's what I want." But because then I've had like 2 months of not being able to taste a quarter pounder, I just don't feel the need to have one.
well, tune in, guys, to see how
Yeah.
Jay does with his meat-free diet a
Wait
month
until they
later.
open and come back to me.
Wait until McDonald's opens in a week or so time.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I think my biggest thing is going to be burgers because I love
Yeah,
burgers.
you love your beef.
I love burgers to death. So if burgers is the one thing that I keep, but even then, I know I shouldn't be eating as many because burgers are actually really bad for your health.
Um, remind me after the stream. I'll send you a link to Lidl burgers that we have in a vegan. Apparently, they're really nice. My mum and dad tried them,
Oh, okay.
so yeah, I'll give you the bit for them as well.
Brilliant. That'll be good. Yeah. What did you think then? If watching it, was it a game changer for you?
It was, oh crap, okay, there's more people than I realized. I thought that Messi was a vegetarian. I didn't know he was a vegan.
Mm,
There's so many sports athletes on there that I was shocked about.
yeah. I always assumed all athletes chicken, 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 meat. After a workout, get that meat in you, get that protein. I always just assumed that, but it's not
Yeah.
the case.
Yeah, they had that Olympic runner who was very famous. I can't remember his name though. I think it's maybe Carl Thomas.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, he was a USA, like I think he won a gold in the Olympics. And yeah, he's he's on a plant-based diet. So it might be a case for me, I think, of maybe not necessarily changing my food too much, but maybe spreading some more seeded plant-based stuff onto my food,
Mm? Yeah.
giving that a go.
But that's the thing. For you, it's going to be doing whatever you can.
Yeah, it's gonna be a struggle for me as well, but in a different aspect to you and Tara.
Mm. Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll come back. We'll look back in, I don't know, about 3 months' time and see where we're at.
Yeah. But the thing is, I've mostly decided to do it because I've been working on my fitness and things, but I just
Mhm.
can't shift that last bit of chub, just that last little bit of fat. It just never seems to go anywhere. I get to a certain like slimness, and then it's just that last bit. So we
And
thought,
then you eat and eat and eat and eat
yeah, we
again, and
kind of
then you gain it
just,
back.
yeah. So we thought, well, maybe it is literally just the diet. Am I taking in fat from these meals? Because when I'm going to the gym, I'm obviously eating more meat. Is that what's happening? I'm still storing the fat because the meat is the problem.
Maybe also looking into different types of shakes and everything. The ones which aren't like these meat shakes and crap like that, and all this
I
dairy milk. Maybe a soya
Yeah,
protein drinks.
I tend to steer away from any supplements anyway. Um, just
You
because
never
they're
know,
not
it
always
might
good
work,
for
mate.
you. Yeah, I've tried some protein ones. They're all right, but there's just I don't know. I'm kind of fed up with them. They don't seem to be doing anything.
It's kind of, you have to find the right taste for you. I'm pretty sure nobody really enjoys shakes, but it's just finding the taste that you can
Yeah. Oh yeah, I
chug
found
down.
some that I like the taste of, but they just don't seem to be working. I think you have to be really extreme with shakes for them to work.
Yeah,
So I'm someone that I very much want to do it all, natural way, of of fitness sort of thing, just looking after yourself and exercising. That's all I want to do. I don't want to have to be eating a certain amount of calories a day to beef up and things. So I'm hoping this changing to plant-based food is going to be able to shift that last bit of chub.
We will see, fella. So anyway, that's Game Changers done. We both enjoyed it. I think we agreed. I can agree on that.
Yep.
Um,
Anyone interested, you need to watch it because I thought it was a bit of a piss take at first when it was called Game Changers, but it is an actual. It's not even just a game changer; it's a life changer. If you are looking to get fit, you need to watch it. Basically,
if you're looking to lower your oh god, I forget the words now.
cholesterol.
Cholesterol, your the risk of diabetes and stuff. This is one way to boost it down. But nobody, obviously, the marketing doesn't want to talk about that.
No, we say as I'm drinking a full sugar Fanta.
Oh, that's right. I've just drunk a full Coke. So
These are a treat. I've been
swings the brand
cycling
back.
today.
Another thing that you can do, bro, is having some natural sugar like orange juice.
Yeah,
Is a perfect way as well.
orange juice is just good to have in general. Vitamin
It's a
C.
it's a super drink.
Yeah, it's very good for you. I love orange juice.
I love orange
I
juice.
suggest
Too.
a glass
Not
in
all
the
the
morning with
bits.
breakfast. No, no pulp.
Fuck the pulp.
Yeah, a nice glass with your breakfast in the morning. It helps you take in the all the nutrients from your breakfast.
Antioxidants as well. That's in it as well.
Yeah, but like the vitamins and the iron and stuff that is in it, it actually promotes your body to soak in the nutrients. So if you're eating something healthy for breakfast, have some orange juice. It will help you take in that stuff. It's very good.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, next topic. My throat really hurt then. Ow.
The next topic. So we obviously it's not everyone's talking about it. It's not something that we could really gloss over. I don't think we'll
Yeah.
go too deeply into it because we are white males. We have white male privilege. Let's be real. So it's not really our fight, our struggle, but with as people with privilege, I feel that privilege it still needs to be something that we recognize.
Yeah. Well, no, we can't just ignore it.
No, people with the privilege and the power need to help the people that don't have it to get to a point where they can have it, sort of thing. You know, use your privilege for good. Don't just walk around and just hold it. Like I was saying, because obviously there's a lot of protests, and I say protests. There's a lot of rioting, but there are people out there. So I've seen two different occasions. What white people was formed a human line between police and people of color to protect and to stop anything kicking off. And then I saw an occasion where people of color had made a barrier around a policeman, which had been separated from the rest of the group. And it's people using their privilege and things like that, and then people showing that what, it's not all police.
Exactly. The people I feel for the most are these policemen, which didn't have anything to do with it. All that rage, all that anger that people are feeling is expressed straight towards them. Some maybe even of color or different creed and stuff. It's awful to me that like a couple of bad people ruin it for everybody else. But from what I hear from the speculation is that they're notorious for it in Minnesota.
Yeah.
For doing this.
That particular police officer is notorious for it. There are a few accusations and things against him. Why he was still working as a policeman is beyond me. Like he literally had things against him with people of color already. But then America's got, unfortunately, some corrupt systems by the looks of things, and that's seeping through to the bigger, wider world.
Not only different corrupt systems, but also the history there. Like it really doesn't happen in the UK or in the other European countries to this effect at all. It's because of that history there of being slaves back then that really fuels this anger and hate towards anybody in power. It's even when Barack Obama was in charge, people still had hate. It's always going to be there. Sadly, that's the problem. This world we live in. There's too much hate.
Yeah. Well, I think for America, one of the biggest problems, and it's not even you wouldn't see it as a huge problem, but I think it's where it starts to stem from, is the way that they have their freedom of speech. So they have a lot of freedom of speech. You can say racial stuff in America and on the street, and you're fine. You can call someone racial slurs, but it's put down as freedom of speech. In
That's one.
England, it's discrimination and it's criminal. But I think mentality wise, they're just like, well, I can call you this, so I'm allowed to have this view. This is an okay view to have. Whereas in England, we're like, that's against the law. You automatically click and go, that's not right then. I shouldn't be doing that. And I think that's where it sort of stems from. No one's being told you can't have that view. Like, I'm all for people having their own views, but there are some where you need to keep it to yourself. If you think that and it's very controversial, keep it to yourself so you do not harm others. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Like the thing that upsets me with the world and how it's changed in the last 20 years is people being offended for other people, even if they're not offended.
Yeah.
Like it's just so bad now. Like, we'll just see people going, "Oh, that's racist," and I'm like, he hasn't said it's racist. The guy who's being like defended against, and it's like, why do you have to be offended for somebody? Let them be offended.
Yeah.
We live in a culture now where anything is not fair game. You can't. I think there's a difference between saying what you want and making jokes. Like if there's no.
Oh, you're back. You went then.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
If there's no intention, don't know what happened. If there's no intention. Oh no.
What?
Oh, it cut out for a bit again.
You were still there, man. You were just going, oh no.
I just looked a bit choppy. I've missed my point, but basically, we just need to. When it comes to jokes and everything, there's a difference between making humor and trying to offend people.
I think there's a very fine line between advocating and being an ally, and then being offended on someone else's behalf, making yourself the victim based on someone else's issue. Yeah. Like there's a very fine line between the two. Like, yes, you should speak out if you don't think something's right, but you can't be personally offended by it. It's not your thing.
Nope.
If the person is fine with it, then you just go, okay. You walk away. That's it. It's not your fight.
No, at all. Like, you're allowed to stand and support people. That's what Black Lives Matter is about. It's just not for black people. You can support them by helping them in their need. And we'll talk about Black Lives Matter in a little bit. But it's not there for you to place yourself as a victim, like you said. It's there to support the people who are the victims.
Yeah, you are there to be support and advocate and use your white privilege, if needed, to be an advocate and to be an ally, to help out.
Now, I'm going to say something which might be very offensive, but it needs to be said. There is a difference between protesting and rioting and looting stores. You don't go and just trash and destroy a whole store just because somebody got killed. I know that's the mentality in
Mm,
America, but it's just not right. In the end, you're ruining everything for everybody else. The way to do it is to protest in anger on the streets, not at places or other people. Just
mm.
be there in unison. Do you think Martin Luther King would be condoning this, would be complimenting this right now? He wouldn't. He'd be wanting to march like the people did back in Alabama from Selma all the way to Montgomery. In that way,
Mm.
this is completely different. This is people being violent for the sake of it. People profiteering and looting is not the way to solve these problems.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But then you can play devil's advocate, as we like to do,
Yeah.
and they Martin Luther King himself says the rioting comes from people that are unheard. Obviously, people have had enough of America ignoring their biggest problem, and that is racism. Apart from gun shootings, but that's mass shootings and racism. That is what people think when they think of America.
I think I've found I think I've found out what the problem might be.
Mm,
Guns, racism, guns. Can we just get rid of guns? Would that does that not solve the problem?
yeah, get rid of guns and don't let your well. Would that solve the problem though? Because George wasn't killed by a gun, unlike
Ah,
many black
ah,
men have been.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like all these people before that said that they had weapons on them, then they couldn't have that excuse to be going,
Mm.
oh yeah, well, he had a weapon on him, or I think he was going to shoot me. They don't
That's
have
so
guns.
easy to say though. How is the person that's dead going to turn around and go, "I did not have a gun"?
They're not.
Yeah, it's so easy to
Look,
turn around and go, "I thought they had a gun. It was my life
I
or
mean,
theirs."
I mean, look at Trayvon Martin and George
Mm.
Zimmerman case back 6 years ago. Like this happens so many times, and it's awful. It's awful. I don't want to see another. It doesn't matter what color you are. I don't want to see anybody getting shot dead for no reason by any authority. It's absolutely fucking sickening.
Well, there's the case of I can't remember his name, but there was a guy who was shot 86 times.
I've seen it.
Why
I've
would
seen
you
that
need
one.
to shoot someone 86 times? That's not a case of, oh, well, I thought he had a gun on him. And I'm not being funny. There are many times where, even if you still think someone has a gun on them, they're trained, aren't they? So why are you shooting them to kill? They're shooting them to kill. They're not shooting the gun out of their hand. They're not shooting the arm which they're using the gun for, like we see in oh so many films, and that they're apparently trained to do. They shoot to kill.
I'm also not going to ever mention the fact of that it was, oh, you're just putting it on Whitey, because there was also an Asian
Mm,
orientation in that police force as well. So I'm never going to make the assumption, oh yeah, blame it all on Whitey,
yeah,
because I know that's how people feel, and they have a right to their own opinion, and it's fine. We're not in America, which I'm, you know what, I'm so blessed we aren't in there right now,
yeah.
seeing all the shit that's going on. Honestly, my heart just goes out to George Floyd's family,
Mm.
and I really hope he does get justice for what happened. I know that that massive asshole who was standing on his neck got has been sentenced to life in prison.
Yeah, well, he's even so, but he hasn't been charged with the right thing. He's been charged with murder in the third degree. The third degree means an accident. It's like in, accidental manslaughter. So he's got accidental death. It because okay, it wasn't premeditated. He didn't go out that day going, "I'm gonna kill George Floyd," but he knew and could hear from George Floyd that he was harming him. He knew with full intent that he was doing damage.
Can I just say I've done security, right? I do security. I'm a fully licensed security guard. I know some techniques to take people down. One thing you're always told is don't put them on their front.
Mm.
Do not put them on the front, and if you do not be anywhere near them when you put them on their front at all,
Yeah.
ever. This is a case of, I think police need to be every single officer needs to be retrained in how they detain a suspect. They need to have definitely for I'd say white officers. They need to have racial sensitivity training.
Mm.
They need to understand the difference between racial profiling and actually nailing a suspect, instead of just going off of stereotypes and then, oh yes, I'm going to jump the gun, actions speak louder than words kind of crap. It's just not the world we live in anymore.
It's kind of a case of reacting to the situation appropriately. He was being arrested for a forged check.
Yeah, forgery, not like a drug lord or like a arms dealer, anything like that.
Yeah, but
it was forgery.
How does a man forging a check end up dying, yet all of their school mass shootings by white teenagers, they all come out, hands behind their backs, in stab vests, and escorted out alive? How have they stopped a mass shooter with a gun without putting a bullet in him or strangling them by detaining them, but a man for a forged check ends up suffocating because he's being pinned down? That doesn't make sense to me. When you think of a mass shooting, that is a raging lunatic with a gun. How do you then bring that to a peaceful end where you give them a nice little cozy ride in the back of your car in a nice stab vest and politely, just take him, we're just going to take you down to the station? How does that make any sense?
It doesn't.
You'd think it would be the other way round. Someone's a mass shooter, it's we need to stop them with that gun. Take them down.
I'm just deeply upset for the world we live in, that we still have these police brutalities. These police brutalities on black people in general have been going on since longer than we've been born, man.
Yeah.
Like one of the most notorious ones before we were born was the Rodney King beatings. And that was a brutal one in itself, and that caused many riots. Until this shit stops and they do something about this, it's just going to keep repeating itself again and again and again. It won't just be Minnesota, it'll be places like Utah and other places like that, California. We're just always going to have it until somebody does something about it.
Yeah.
And as much as I don't want to be this, Trump has had to do what he's done with bringing the martial law in, but he shouldn't. He should be way more sympathetic with what the cause is. I understand and I agree that there are people just doing this to profiteer, but he also realizes that there's a lot of hate because of this, and he should be sympathetic to the cause of Black Lives Matter.
That's the thing. He needs to act with... Well, he just needs to act. He needs to listen to the people and act. Like, he just needs to change many things with the government. He won't do it personally, though.
He won't.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, things just need to be changed, and that is how that's how the rioting's going to stop. Get in there, get in that government, sign some papers, change the fucking amendments which were written when there were slaves
250 years ago.
Change the fucking bit of paper that was written when you owned black people. A gun could only fire every 15 minutes because you had to load the son of a bitch anyway. You know, times have changed and your
Uh,
legislation needs to change. It was
can
okay to
we
have a gun because you couldn't have a mass shooting. People could run by the time you got your second bullet in the fucking gun.
can we just re-mention the fact that A, black people were slaves in America, and B, when they were slaves in America, when they were fighting against the Civil War, how they fought with white people and they actually helped,
Mm,
and it was white with black people together in a unison until we stop seeing people as different colors and nationalities. If we all start seeing as each other as one, maybe that would be one way to stop all of this racial profiling and stuff, don't you think?
yeah. And I was thinking, you know how everyone's banging on about how they think there's aliens? And you know what? I kind of agree. There might be aliens, but they ain't coming to this planet because we can't even be fucking nice to each other.
No.
We can't even be nice to other races. Why would another fucking species come along and be like, yo, lads? They're probably up there seeing all of this shit and going, why the fuck would we risk our alien asses to go and meet you intolerant fucks?
Well, we'll see. We'll see Independence Day come soon.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, they're gonna get, killed for being green. They're not coming down, are they?
All right, quick 30 seconds, Jay. We
Mm,
both have, okay? Black Lives Matter, your opinion. 30 seconds, go.
I don't know. What the actual group or
In general, Black Lives Matter. Opinion, 30 seconds, go.
why didn't you go first? Because you kind of put me on the spot here, man.
Black Lives Matter is a place that makes people feel protected. It's all about showing that the all these people of color that are having shit against them, they're now saying we matter as well as white people, which I totally agree with. I think it's fine. I think these people going white lives matter as well is a load of bollocks because it's a protest to their protest,
Mm,
and it's really not fair to them. I think they should keep going. I think supporting them, donating to Black Lives Matter is what you should do
mm,
because it's one way to stop all of this. Is to the more people that join, the more we have, the
mm.
more we sort it out. Your turn.
Um. Well, obviously, there's a big thing where people are saying, why is it Black Lives Matter when all lives matter? And I think it's an important thing to remember. All lives do matter, yes, and Black Lives Matter does stand for that. It is very much. It's not just black and white in a case of Black Lives Matter. It is an umbrella term for we need equality for all races, and
Mhm.
it's put as Black Lives Matter because black people are the people that are being gunned down in the street in broad daylight. It has taken it's basically taken the issue, the worst issue. Like yes, there is racism towards other races still, but the biggest injustice still is people of color. So that I think that's why people are turning around and saying all lives matter, but you need to think about the context of it. It's Black Lives Matter because white people aren't being gunned down in the street. Yes, all lives matter. Our lives matter as much as black people's. Black people's lives matter as much as ours. But we have privilege. We are not being gunned down in the street. Black people are.
No. All I think that we have left to say on this topic is just rest in peace, George Floyd.
Mm.
I really hope your family come to peace.
And that's damn man gets more of a sentence.
Yeah, fuck that absolute evil little absolute arse.
And I hope, and this is not me saying because there's a lot of them in prison. That's not what I mean at all. But I hope he has to be around a lot of people of color. I
He
hope.
will.
I hope.
Well,
I hope. Do you know? I genuinely hope he goes into prison. He meets the most lovely people of color and changes his view and suffers eternally for what he's done mentally. Like he turns around and goes, "That was awful," and he suffers with the guilt. That's what I hope. He has a life-changing moment, meets some cool dudes, and then realizes his mistakes.
what, a bit like American History X.
Yeah.
Now, by the way, guys, great film if you've never watched it, with Edward Norton, about this neo-Nazi and how he changes his ways just before being an evil absolute arsehole and changing his views on black people. He basically curb stomps this black person on the curb and kills him, and he
Jesus.
gets sent to prison.
Well, I
It's
think
brutal.
it's because prejudice is a very dangerous thing.
Yep.
And maybe, okay, if you do have prejudice towards a type of person or a type of race, how about instead of keeping that view, educate yourself, go and meet some people. Just go and meet someone, and you'll realize they're a human too.
Yeah. Exactly. That's all we need to say about it. And I'm sure we'll catch up more about racial topics at some point. But I think this is it for now. And
Yes.
I really pray for all these people, and I hope everybody stays safe in all of the cities around America, including including London, because they're starting here as well.
Yeah. Lord. It's because, we're a lot more forward with our racism sort of thing. We're not necessarily as much as America gunning men down in the street, but we're not perfect.
No, we're definitely not. As a male white person, I can say we are not perfect. We will never be.
It's a shame.
It is what it is, unfortunately. But it might change. It might not. We'll see. We still got a couple years to go.
Yeah.
What are we going to talk about next, Jay?
That's an excellent question. We are talking about our views on the afterlife and what we personally believe happens after we die. Because obviously everyone's got different opinions. There are people that are religious. There are people that are not religious. So what do you think?
Exactly.
What do you think happens?
Okay, I dropped out for a little bit then, but I'm back.
What do you think happens?
I think what happens, or I would like to believe that happens, is I feel that there's definitely something after death, whether that be as spiritual or as a ghost. I believe in ghosts. I believe they're real things. I feel that they're trapped souls stuck in limbo. I do not know where we go, but I was originally a Catholic, and they believe in heaven. But I then now returned my stone, and I would like to think I practice it, but in essence, I don't. But I love to have the beliefs of what they did and still do, and that's Zen Buddhism.
Okay. Yeah.
I have the. I don't know if you can see it very well. I have that's a Zen symbol on there. That circular paint motion. That's it's all about spirituality, meaning like there's life after death, whether that be in reincarnation or whatever. I feel that there's something, Jay. I don't think we just die. Definitely not. I don't know how you feel, but there's something more after this. There's a soul in a person, and once the body dies, the soul goes somewhere.
Yeah. Bear with me 1 second while I stop this cat from screaming behind me. Continue chatting a second, Lewis.
You should have just said before, man. So we all have these different views on what life after death is, and for me, honestly, one of my scariest thoughts is what happens next after this. If if I had the choice between dying on old age and being happy for that life, or being alive forever. I choose being alive forever because I feel that I just don't want to die.
I'm back. The cat has been evacuated has been
Uh, I was just
yeeted from
saying.
the room.
I, I was just saying how I don't want to die.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I'm up most nights because of it.
I generally, I just was saying I really worry about life after death. It's why I have to believe in my Zen spiritualism
Yeah,
because there's more.
I I agree with that. I'm at the minute. I think the past few years I've been very aware of it, and I kind of do envy people that do, have their religion and have their belief that there's something after death, like, with Christianity, you believe in heaven, things like that.
Yeah,
I do envy people that can fully engulf themselves in that belief. To go sleep at night and be like, do you know what? I believe that if I was to not wake up in the morning, I would be up in heaven with the rest of my past family. But personally, I just don't believe it. I am someone in an unfortunate position, Lewis. I don't think there is anything
at all.
at all. Nothing. Cease of existence. I don't like
I
it.
I don't see that thought is just something that I cannot comprehend because I feel it would just drive me just insane.
It does.
Feeling like that, feeling like there's nothing. I have to believe in myself. I have to believe there's something, or otherwise,
Mm,
my hope would be gone. I'd just be like, well, I'm just gonna go and just fucking lose my shit
mm.
and just go
I
out on a tangent.
I agree. Um, I does keep me awake at night. It is horrible, but also I don't see it as in a case of, well, I might as well just yeet it anyway. I see it in a case of, I want to live as long as possible because there is nothing after. There is no music, there is no sight, there is no colours, there is no smell. And that's why I'm someone that very much enjoys little experiences, like smells, like, just small things, because personally I believe it is what it means to be living. You know, like
Yeah,
experiences, when you have bad experiences that happen to you, like unfortunate events, things like that, I still enjoy having them because to me it is what it is to be alive. If you're not having any life experiences, then you're not living.
yeah, I see what you're saying.
Mm,
Like, live your life how you want to live it. Don't let anybody tell you different. Is exactly what I know that you're saying.
yeah. Yeah, for me personally, I find it hard to believe that our consciousness can, say, like with reincarnation, I can't comprehend our consciousness moving from, body to body. But then also, I don't like the thought of reincarnation. I don't want to be in a different body where I don't know my family and I don't know my friends. And it's, you would be living a different life, whereas I like the life I have.
That's one of the theories. Is we've been born 10,000 times
Mm,
at least, each of us, and we just don't have any past memories, or we have like deja vu at some points and crap
yeah.
like that, and that's where the term comes from. But uh, I I have to believe, man. But I want to know your opinion. What do you feel on spirits and ghosts?
It's tough. because I'm very interested in the subject, but I'm also very skeptical of it. I've had experiences where you could easily say, well, it's supernatural, it's a ghost experience, but I'm still not a believer. Like, I've told you all of the experiences and the stories that I've had,
Yeah.
and me and Tara joke around and we say that a spirit follows me because no matter where I go, spiritual, ghostly shit happens. We went to her mother's. Her mother lives in a new build. Shit falls off the shelf when I'm there. You know? Unexplained things happen wherever I go. But me personally, I wouldn't say that I'm a believer. I'm still very skeptical of there being ghosts. I'm more skeptical than I am a believer, but very interested in the subject.
As we know, because you love Yvette Fielding and you love
Yeah, I
Most
love Most Haunted. Yeah, yeah. I've looked into parapsychology and paranormal audio, physical things, like that. So very interested in it, but I just don't. I want to believe, but I don't.
So the question I have for you then, Jay, would anything change you about life after death or spiritual connections if something happened in your life, like an out of body experience or some crap like that?
Probably. But the thing is, it's not a case of I don't want to believe there's something after death. I really do. I would like to get some fucking sleep at night and be like, I know that if I was to not wake up in the morning, I would be somewhere and I'd go and wait, and then, Tara would join me when she goes, and so would like all of my family. I want to believe it, I just don't, and it kills me. So please, if someone wants to put some religious knowledge on me, go for it.
Oh, that's so, so
Yeah,
sad, man.
yeah, it's
Oh,
it's horrible. It's literally, people think I'm joking when I say it keeps me up at night. That is why I have a
no,
sleeping problem.
you don't tend to exaggerate things, so I do believe you, man. Oh, it's
Hmm.
awful, and the fact it's so sweet. The fact that you want to be with Tara, that's lovely.
Well,
You want
it's
to believe that
that's
there's a thing
yeah,
for it.
that's what I don't like about reincarnation. I don't want a different life. If I was like, yes, the appeal of continuous life, living different people's lives is very appealing. But the thought of if you were with someone throughout your whole life, the then thought of then being like, I'm gonna fall in love with someone else is a bit. It's a bit like, well, I don't want to. I'd rather stay in this life for eternity than going and making new friends and having new family.
Tara, we just give him a big hug
He's
for
not there.
me.
She's just come in. I think she's just been to the toilet.
No, I went to speak to Mum on the phone.
Oh, she went to speak to her mother on the phone. Can you stop
I'm
licking?
sure she, I'm sure she didn't hear any of it, but oh my god,
No.
it was so sweet.
Oh, there we go.
Anyway, let's deep shit. Hello, Bronzy. Oh, Bronson.
You come in to join, Bronx. There you go. This way then. There's the camera. Good boy.
Bronson. Bronson is the most loveliest staffy in the world.
He's looking at the
People
wrong
always
screen.
people think that he is staffies are nasty dogs and vicious. They're not. They're just trained wrong. This is the most loveliest, most sweetest little dog in the world.
He is a baby. He is just a baby. He loves a cuddle. He loves kisses. He just loves people too much, so he gets too excited outside. He wants to say hello to everyone.
And when I come over, I make him piss himself.
Yep. It's Lewis. Yes, I know.
Bronzy, Bronzy.
Right, you look that way
I love
then.
you, Bronson.
You look that way, and so I can be
I
in
think,
the podcast, please.
do you have any final thoughts on this topic?
No. I just, if someone could give me an out-of-body experience or religious revelation, hit me up. Thanks, bro.
I have I have one more. I have one final bit.
Yep.
So I've got tattooed on me. don't know if you can see from this angle properly, but it's a melting clock.
Yeah.
And all the gears are melting and everything. That's a symbolism for time, like melting away.
Mm.
That is, along with spiders, is my biggest fear.
Mm.
Like
mine too, and sharks. You hate spiders, I hate sharks. Well, I love sharks. I'm just terrified of them.
yeah,
You know too much about something, and you end up scared of it.
yep. I know the top 10 most poisonous spiders in the world, and I know the biggest ones, I know the smallest ones, and they all shit me up.
Oh, and I'm also scared of scorpions.
Kind of similar to spiders.
Yeah, well, they're terrifying.
Okay, well, I think that's our last rational topic. So now it is our weekly topics.
Yes.
So, this week in history.
Are you going to go first this time so that I don't...
I'll go this.
'cause
I'm
we
not.
keep-
Yeah, you're not going to mess up my vibe.
Yeah, go for it.
So this week we've gone between the 25th and the 31st. So I will go with mine first. On the 25th of May in 1895, playwright Oscar Wilde was found guilty of gross indecency in London and sentenced to 2 years of hard labour.
Wow, you learn something new every day.
So Oscar Wilde got a bit naughty and got...
He was a flasher.
Yeah, he seemed to have been a bit intoxicated and decided to streak. So he ended up doing some hard labour, which you don't really see nowadays. It's more community service, and that's not really hard labour.
No, you need to get some hard labour in there. Get some shipbuilding. You know, get in there, do the dirty jobs, the hard jobs. That'll change someone's criminal past.
Yep. Go on then, your turn, my brother.
1859. Big Ben rings out over London for the first time.
Yes. I had that, but I knew that you would want to say that one.
Yes, I love Big Ben. It's beautiful.
Are you excited for when it finally gets reopened in, like, what is it, 2022?
Yeah, me and Tara said we might go down. Ooh.
Oh yeah, because that'll be the wedding time as well.
Yeah. Right.
Okay,
Now
so you ready? 26th of May, Beatle John Lennon and his wife Yoko Ono stage a public bed-in for the world peace, staying in bed for a week in a hotel in Montreal.
Oh, the dream. Do you reckon I could do that?
Easily you. Tara, maybe not so much.
Oh no, she's lazier than me.
No, Tara, please do speak up if you think
She's
that's
gone
untrue.
again.
Bye,
No,
Tara.
She can sleep. She can sleep for days, I tell you. So I think she could easily do it. There you go. If we get big enough, Lewis, me and Tara will do a bed in.
Sit in.
Yeah.
It'll be like a 24/7 live stream.
You know it.
My boo. Go on and tell me your next one.
1977. The BBC banned the Sex Pistols' God Save the Queen.
Very notorious one.
Fucking
because
BBC.
I'm not the biggest. At the moment, I've disconnected myself off of all social media sites. I am hating the news at the moment, and I'm challenging my inner Sex Pistols because the Johnny Rotten and all of the gang they really did just hate the news, hated them, because all they ever do is... I'm not going to get in. That's another story. All you need to know is the Sex Pistol did something very iconic that will never probably be duplicated again by doing what they did.
Yeah.
Do you know how hard it is to get banned by the BBC?
Yeah, I know. They liked Jeremy Clarkson for God knows how long.
Exactly.
The Sex Pistols got banned quicker than Jeremy Clarkson. That says it all, really.
Okay, I will do one more because there are quite a few, but we'll leave them to another time. 1937, on the 27th of May, Golden Gate Bridge connecting San Francisco to Marin County in California is open to pedestrian traffic, and more than 200,000 pedestrians walked across it on opening day.
Wow, that's incredible.
200,000. That
Jesus,
is one fifth of a million.
isn't that a very long bridge as well?
Very long. It's like 10 miles long.
Oh, God save those people that walked it. Oh, which one? Ah, I will tell you, Lewis. I was saying to Lewis before the stream that we've got all of these historical moments in time, and then I found one particular moment in one point on this website that I use, and thought it was quite funny. Obviously, we're talking about, Big Ben ringing for the first time, a huge bridge in America being opened. And then one I found was, in 1930, Clint Eastwood was born. Apparently, Clint Eastwood is big bollocks to have to be mentioned as being born, along with the Battle of Jutland starting as the greatest naval battle. He belongs in that same list, apparently. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Clint Eastwood, but do we really need to be like, yeah, he was born on the same day as the Jutland War began?
All right. Well, if we're going to do that then, 29th of May, John Fitzgerald Kennedy was born.
Jesus. Is it as important as, the many things which are about wars where loads of people died, and, iconic moments in history to do with politics, and well done for being born.
But as we know, JFK was a big proponent for civil rights, so
Yes,
there's that.
that is true.
Anyway, that was our This Week in History. That was it was all right, but there are a few other ones that I just didn't want to touch on at the moment, because otherwise we'd have nothing for next year.
Yeah,
If we are here next year, which we will be.
we hope.
Anyways, tell me your meal of the week, Jay.
Oh, I don't know, because I've been so in awe of the beef I had last week. And it's just, yeah, I can't. Well, I tell you what, we had cheese Philly steaks yesterday. We had some beef, we cut it up, and we used that. Because Tesco's, okay, big shout out to Tesco's. We bought a £13.50 roast beef joint, yeah? And we did a click and collect. Much like delivery, you get substitutions.
Yeah.
So, Tesco's didn't have the beef that we wanted. So, like a mad lad, they gave us a £25.50 priced bit of beef.
Wait. With no extra charge?
No extra charge, because it's a substitution.
What?
Yeah.
How good was it?
It's amazing. I've cut it into 4 pieces. I did 1 piece the other day so we can have sandwiches. We cut the middle piece up into 3 steaks, so we had cheese Philly steaks last night, and was amazing. And we've got 2 more bits. We're having our roast tomorrow instead of today, so we're having a Monday roast, and I'm going to do as a roast beef, so I'll have to let you know next week on how it is in a roast. But my god, the thing is, it's 28-day aged Angus.
Wow.
Yeah, and this joint is bigger than Bronson's head.
Bronson has a big head, guys.
Yeah, it's bigger than my kitten, and he's big. It's incredible. Shout out to Tesco's. Never change your substitution arrangement. It's great. I paid $13.50 for 28-day aged Angus beef, which is worth $25.50. I was over the moon.
Yeah, I'm glad you've enjoyed the beef. My saviour this week has been jam donuts.
Ooh,
It's been
nice.
been a very long week for L Dog, and jam donuts every day at work have been the thing that have been keeping him going for the whole of these. I think it was almost 40 hours this week.
Good form of carbs, good form of sugar. You're working a lot, you need that sugar to keep energy levels up. I can understand why they have been your Lord and Saviour.
Praise the almighty jam donuts.
Yes, I do enjoy a jam donut. I also like custard-filled ones, but that's just because Tara doesn't like custard either. But mate, I could eat a whole bowl. When I worked in Build-A-Bear, I used to do something really disgusting.
What?
You know, you get those pots of cream
No.
and custard,
No.
the Devonshire mix.
No.
I would drink these pots were the long ones as well. I would drink a pot of that at work. It's
You're
so bad
disgusting.
for you, but it was lush.
Oh God, how does Tara date you? Jesus.
I don't eat custard anymore, that's how.
Oh, disgusting. And on that disgusting note, guys, that's it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed. Always, please do like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell for us to keep up with us daily. We do 2 or maybe more videos a week, so please do check in more, guys. I've been your host as always, Lewis C, and on my top left is my co-host
Carol Baskin.
Carol Baskin. Okay, Jay, that's it. Good chap. See you later, guys. Peace out, mother
Bye.
truckers. Goodbye.
Boom.